Thanks so much, Celeste. Good afternoon, all.
Good afternoon.
I am so delighted to be with you today and honored to have you here to offer you this memorial to Mother Frances Bachmann. To have been asked to create this work has in so many ways brought both my spiritual and artistic life full circle. The work of actually 3 years, the first 2 in reading and research and wondering. The past year, beginning in January, with hands in clay, actually fabricating the work. I knew very early in the process that the work needed to also speak about the amazing and brilliant women that Mother Frances' life had inspired, not just in the past, but now and in the future. It was to be her memorial, but you and all that she has touched are very much a part of this. And so I grappled those first 2 years with what the basic shape of the work would be. And so all of what Mother Frances wrote, as well as all of what was written about Mother Frances, came along with me. It was sent by Sister Anna Motti. She was really the one who shepherded this project, and I am so sad that she's not able to be here because she's been really with me all these 3 years. But all of that material, it was what she wrote and what was written about her. That all came along with Nino and I on a cruise around the British Isles, because I knew there would be a day at sea when I could really take time away, have time for quiet, and really work with how was this to evolve. Because at this point, I really had no idea. And I'm able to say that yes, the idea for the basis of the work came in the middle of the North Sea, so that all that turbulence allowed me to see. Okay, so the fact that the work was going to be circular, and the fact that it would be shaped from 3 spirals, and I really wasn't thinking about Mother Frances and her 2 companions. So much when you're working like this, things evolve, and then you look back and other people look at it and say, oh, well, there is that. There is the Trinitarian element. So all of those things began to swirl and work. In the center, the work would be circular, shaped from 3 spirals, and have a strong reference to water. In the center, symbolizing God's presence and upwelling in Mother Frances, and at the edges, which would speak about waves continuing to move outward. The spiral is a very traditional spiritual image across many cultures, signifying the interconnectedness of all things, the natural rhythm of existence. It symbolizes the cycle of growth and transformation and rebirth, with a continuous journey toward the divine. And the center of the spiral always representing, with whatever tradition it's speaking to, the source or core of being. My first impulse to create the center was to create a great uprush of water. And I did that initially. I created this big, powerful surge up. I had just finished sculpting that when Nino and I headed into town for lunch at a local Greek restaurant. While we were there, we were chatting with the owner, and I was playing with the edge of my salad plate. The edge of the salad plate was formed by gentle wave shapes. Yet another approach to waves. I like it. And as soon as we got home, I returned to the studio and created another center with just gentle waves. Finally, I sculpted a third one. that had a little upwelling but was primarily gently wavy. That's the one that's here. It was that third one that I finally felt was really the experience of Mother Francis. It was about this time in the process that my good buddy since grade school, Sister Patricia Smith, called me and said, "Have you seen the homily that Sister Anamati had spoken on the anniversary of Mother Francis' death?" "No," I said. Actually, I was shocked that there was anything written about her or by her that I had not seen. However, when I spoke with Sister Anamati, she sent me that homily. And in that homily was a poem by Sister Mary Catherine Gurley. And Pat said, "I think it will help you." Now, remember at this point, the work was already structured. It was already laid out on my table. It was structured on spirals with water and waves as an essential part. So let me read to you what I read sitting in my studio looking at the work, entitled Farewell. In the end, she was all alone. Her children scattered, cared for by other mothers. Her closest companions now separated. She on her deathbed mostly alone. Was it Anthony who sat at her side, tenderly easing her passage as she had done for him? Did Newman, great soul friend that he was, anoint her from above, blessing her courageous work? Was her now tiny band of sisters, remnants of the larger group, also keeping watch? And did she, on her journey into light, oh please, did she see the waves upon waves of women, their circles spiraling out across multiple generations and faraway continents? Did she see each of us who name her mother? And yes, did she smile? I had also spent a day in the archives with Sister Helen Jacobson, another good buddy from grade school, selecting photos that included sisters throughout the years in as many ministries as I thought would read as such, as well as images of sisters in community at play. Additionally, some iconic places. And I was thrilled to find a photo of Sister Mary Catherine Gurley's entrance day. It seemed only right. As the work continued, I was not satisfied that the waves, as the concluding edges, and the thought of the Franciscan cord encircling the whole body of the mural really seemed an appropriate finish. However, I didn't want the cord to give the impression of it restraining. Rather, I wanted it to give a sense of gently hugging the whole piece. And at first, I was simply going to leave that area empty, a black blank space. Then, at some point, one of Nino's cousins knocked on our door with 6 5-foot by 3-foot mirrors, not 1, not 2, but 6. "Linda, I know you use mirrors in your work sometime. We're redecorating and thought you might be able to use these." Well, I was, pretty dumbfounded at this, and I really didn't think of the mural at first. But then when I did, I realized I needed somebody to cut those. I don't do that. We have a mirror and glass store down the street, and they were very busy. And I was, pretty sad they weren't able to do it because they had worked with me before. But they said, "We can give you somebody else, and he's in town." So Corey had been working with this material for many years and was delighted to do all that repetitive cutting for me. So those mirrors then fulfilled my desire to allow every person who stands before the mural to recognize yourself in the flow and embrace of this ongoing Franciscan heritage. So you're all in it. I was able to get everybody in it. Let's see where I am here. There's got to be. Okay, did I lose something? Did I lose a page? How could that be? Oh, dear, dear, dear. Oh no, here we go. So sorry. A work on this scale always requires the collaborative effort of many. And so at this point, it's good to acknowledge that so much of what Earth Songs produces is made possible by Nino's continuous effort, his support, his shared ideas, and willingness to be totally part of whatever work or harebrained scheme I come up with. Which is why what happened here in the installation was especially hard on him. The mural knew blessing upon blessing, but we could not have a project like this without the current state of the world creeping in. And so the actual installation became a situation of sad misrepresentation and deception so prevalent in our world now, and that made itself known here. The team of installers hired and vetted very carefully as professionals, in truth, had none of the skills needed to set the mural on the wall. The finished work, as a result, is not done with the professional expertise I was counting on, which, for large and small work at home, Nino reliably sets with precision. And so I offer it, acknowledging it in its imperfection, acknowledging it as a product of our very imperfect world. And as we say in the ceramic world, a flaw doesn't ruin it, it merely makes it human. And even as such, I am still hopeful that it is a strong symbol of God's presence. I'd like to conclude and share again the words of Sister Mary Catherine Gurley. And did Mother Frances, on her journey into light, did she see the waves upon waves of women, their circles spiraling out across multiple generations and faraway continents? Did she see each of us who name her mother? And yes, did she smile? Thank you.